Check, check, check.
Chickity check. We're in the house. Joe Skelly, 3097 seconds, the Bays Boys podcast.
Tyler, I don't know.
Well,
It's
I don't
Sunday.
know.
It is Sunday.
Time for a live drop. It's
Did you start drinking at 11 o'clock today?
yeah, maybe. Or I haven't stopped since yesterday.
There's
that.
There is that.
Right.
Sunday, live drop.
Sunday. What's that from? That's from a movie.
No, that's that monster trucks and rock and roll.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
From the 90s.
Yes, sir.
The old one.
So yesterday I was driving around out in the countryside and I came across a sign that said tent revival.
No.
Yeah.
They stole your idea, Joe Skelly.
They stole my fucking
Did you go
idea.
in?
No. My plan is to find out where it is, and I think I'm going to attend the old-fashioned
I want to
tent
show
revival.
up.
Yeah,
I think they let us take a camera in there?
Probably not.
Do we need to go button cam on them?
Maybe.
Oh, some super spy shit?
Dude,
Give us a
I want to
reason
go to
bust
the
out
I want to go to
spy
the
kit?
tent revival. I want to go to the tent revival.
Right. Watch dudes get bit by snakes. He gets bit by the snake. He's like, I'm fine. and then falls over and dies.
Dude, I think it's going to be fire and brimstone. I think it's going to be amazing.
Really?
Maybe if we're fortunate, maybe people will be speaking in tongues. Who knows? It's going to be some guy red-faced up there screaming at the pulpit, and they're going to have some creepy kids playing instruments in the corner.
Have you ever been friends with somebody who speaks in tongues? Like, in your circle? Like, are they like in your circle? Not just an acquaintance.
No.
But somebody you chill with who's just like, I speak in tongues.
No, sir. I have not, but I have been to
neither.
a service where they
And
have
seen it?
Yes.
And they get up there and go ham.
Yeah, dude. Well, no, it's like even in the audience, people are
Right.
communicate. But look, if that's your way of communicating with your maker, I don't have a problem with that.
I got a close relative that does that.
Okay.
So he took me one time. He was visiting, and he I don't know how we ended up here, but we were in the Barnes and Noble parking lot. I think he wanted a book or wanted to get me a God book or something. And I was like 16-year-old Tyler, I don't know. So probably on my face was not the look of I'm okay with this. And he was talking to me about God, and he's like, blah, blah, blah. And it was like nighttime, and we're sitting in this fucking parking lot, and he puts his hands up, and he's like, I can speak to the Lord right now. And he just puts his hands up and starts gibberishing.
Oh, Lord.
I don't even know what you call it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He just went ham on it. And boy, I'll tell you.
At 16, you were like, I'm trapped.
Oh.
I'm trapped in this car.
Right. I was like, all right, dude, just get in there so I can get me the Soldier of Fortune magazine. You go do what you want. I'm going to go read something about these fucking Vietnam commandos. I don't know what you're talking about. I got shit to do. Yeah. So it was weird. I never seen anybody else do that before, though. That's the only experience I have with that. Other than television, I get it.
Right.
But I've never been close proximity.
I've always heard about these tent revivals, and I've seen, their rendition of what it is on in movies and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's
like,
where my knowledge
Oh, brother,
comes
where
from.
art thou? Kind of thing. Right.
So what are they revivaling?
No, dude, they used to do these. These preachers would travel around the country with these big tents, right? And they would set up their tent and they'd give sermons underneath the tent, and the whole community would come out. And it was usually some guy who was like all fired up, and he would give these rousing sermons, fire and brimstone, and be all crazy.
Are they just selling snake oil?
But dude, they charge money to get it, so maybe
there it is.
Maybe, yeah.
You got to pay $0.25 to get to your Lord,
right? Or what? That's
okay.
But with inflation now, it's probably like
It's like $9, $12,
$12 to get in.
$20. Give me the 20 spot before you can go and see the Reverend John.
Right.
Okay.
And remember, I wanted to do a themed party along this, but maybe that's blasphemous. But I was thinking,
won't go near the Ouija board, but we're going to open an entire tent.
Right. Listen, I was telling my mom about this, and my mom was like, "Oh, that's crazy." And she's like, "Well, what are you going to do there?" I was like, "Maybe they'll let me give a sermon." Dude, I'll give a hell of a sermon.
I'm scared.
Maybe I should get ordained and start preaching.
Is that legal?
Yes.
They let your types do that?
Listen. As somebody who's an island person.
Wait, which one of us?
As somebody who's an island person, I'm really intrigued by the fact that you're not descendants of Catholics, right? Because the Spaniards.
Oh, I am.
Okay, so
my grandma's a Catholic.
Okay, so how did this one branch off and become speaking in tongues and all that? Because that's not a Catholic thing.
Yeah. So the grandma who's Catholic is on the brown side of my family, and the the tongue speakers on the white side.
Ah,
right.
Gotcha.
So,
That
yeah,
explains it. That explains it.
Yeah.
That explains it.
Yeah.
And they're probably not going to be drinking strychnine and handling rattlesnakes at this thing because that's more of a southern mountain thing.
What does strychnine do?
Strychnine's poison.
So why do they drink it?
Because it helps them get closer to God and helps them communicate.
But they like really drink it. I thought you were just making jokes about that, like it was an ongoing joke.
No, they drink that.
Oh, maybe. Oh, excuse me, I just burped in the mic. Maybe they think that one cancel out the other poison.
Or God, well, the thought is God will prevent me from being bitten by the snake.
Okay.
Right. And that's why God, that's why they can do this. And maybe I'm not, hey, listen, if you're a listener and you know more about this, you should write the show about the snake handling thing.
Bianca Butters is about to write us and be like, "Don't make fun of my snakes." Just kidding.
She's probably not one of those.
She's not happy this week.
No. But hey, I'd be interested to know. I'd be interested to know because there, if you get up in the mountains, there are those certain churches that do that up in the mountains. They're usually smaller.
We're definitely not going to those.
Yeah.
Don't even try to talk me into it, Joe Skelly. I will not attend.
Look, so from this point forward, you won't attend any service with me?
What do you mean this fucking point forward? You tricked me into going to Mothman. First of all, that's not a service. Second of all, I'm just trying not to get shot up in the mountains somewhere.
Thrown down the mine shaft, right?
You're about to die and you're like, listen, they've got you with the shotgun. You're like, listen, I'm here because I'm in love. What? You're like, yeah, I love Thelma Louise. From down the road. That's what you'd have to say. Then you'd have to marry into the family. You'd be there forever. You'd never escape.
You'd never get out.
No.
You'd never get out.
That's some wrong turn shit right there. I don't want that life.
You don't want that life?
You gotta say. You know the rules, man. You gotta stay out of the wrong territories.
Fair enough.
And then we went to the wrong territories. Yes. We went to the Mothman territories. And territories where they got mistakes, personal business and such.
Yeah, personal business and such.
Okay. Yeah, but no.
I was telling my stepmom about that. I was like, I might go back for some trail ride. And she's like, why would you do that considering my man just told you murder's a personal business?
Right. I'm not trying to be up there when some dude wants to get my watch. Hey, look at that guy. He's got a $80 Garmin. Let's get him. What? You can just have it, my guy.
Right.
Fucking, you ain't got to put me in a mine shaft.
Right. Oh, God.
No.
So this week, we've, what have we done this week?
Past week?
This past week. What'd you watch?
I drank a lot.
And what'd you watch?
No, I'm joking. I watched The Wonderful Whites of West Virginia or whatever. Fuck me. We got that coming. We're going to talk about that in a future episode, but what a mess.
And what else did we watch this week?
The new Predator dropped.
Which
was interesting.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I didn't watch. I didn't watch David Grohl's documentary.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I need to get on that. It didn't. You gave it to me to watch 6 months ago. I'm working up to it, which is ironic because I love it.
Right.
I need to do more things that make me happy and stop watching things that make me unsettled.
Yeah, I got you.
That's human nature, right? Rubberneck.
Sure. Yeah,
I gotta see what's happening in this fucking train wreck.
Oh God, yeah, no more of that stuff, right?
All right, so quick philosophical question.
Okay.
I was thinking about this as I was watching this the other day. So you're watching these types of shows, and we watched some of that. We talked about the '90s, dark side of the '90s. So they reviewed Jerry Springer, and this all entwines in one big thing, right? Thanks to Johnny Knoxville, and that fucking movie exists,
right?
So shout out to Knoxville because I love you. But what do you think that it makes us less? It makes us worse humans if you watch television to say, "Hey, my life's not as bad as that guy. Thank God." Or at the end of it, when you're done, because you know this happens, where you're just like, better you than me.
Or what if you watch that thing and you're like, man, there's other people out here like me.
So if
not alone.
Any one of these thoughts involved in the wonderful world of whites is out there. I mean, and I've thought about that too. But you and I both know that there's motherfuckers out there watching it to rubberneck.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I've always been a person who looked at the accident driving by but I'm looking at the team who's on helping.
God.
I don't ever look and I'm like, oh, let me see if I can find the white sheet on the ground. Like, I don't give a fuck about that.
Right.
Like, I'm looking to see, hey, is everybody okay? Do we need to stop? Do you see anything weird? You know, somebody's hanging out, whatever. You know, shout out to all the medics we know. I've spoken to medics when I was in school, and I would ask, because all people want to know when they first start. Like, hey man, what happens when you're in the mall and so and this and that? Do you get involved? You know, and I've heard some old timers that were like, nah, I just walk the other way, and I'm like, fuck, that's scary because you have the key. You have the key to life to change that world. You know, and that's what I think about. So you're right. You know, do we look at it and say, hey, my life is along the lines of that, or hey, am I a bad person for watching this? Because it goes the other way too, right? Like, I know the Mega Beast watches that Kardashian show, and that's a fucking train wreck show too. The only difference is they can pay people to clean up their train wreck.
Oh yes,
that's all that is.
I mean, where did their fame come from? It came from their dad.
I have no idea.
No, it literally came from their dad because they're
doing the OJ thing.
Yeah, doing the OJ thing.
See, I didn't know that until like last year.
And then they capitalized on that, especially after his death.
Then the tranny dad.
Right.
Then big old booty cheeks married old Kanye. Shout out to Kanye West.
Right.
The fucking best with the test. You know, I do dope shit.
Dope shit.
That's still my favorite interview. Like one of my favorites about him. Because every other one is fucking weird too. Like you hear stories about Kanye, you're like, what are you doing?
But
Kanye's a good inspiration for, just on a side note of the hip hop community. Kanye is that one that's not from what you normally take from hip hop.
Oh yeah.
Because his fucking family's rich. His mom and his dad was like a fucking professor or some shit. And is like a stand-up icon in, you know,
the community.
Right. So, you know, he's not exactly, so it's really interesting to see that.
Is Kanye a persona? Or is that really
Kanye,
him?
No, I think he's legit. I don't think you could pump out the music you pump out and be as fake as people think that he is. I think he's legit. I think the work that he puts in. You know, Kanye, so let's talk about this. And this is just a side note, but this also shows a person, right? You know, he was fucking, so it's an ongoing joke, first of all, that most hip hop kids use FL Studio.
Okay.
Right? Because it just kind of happened that way. Like if you were this hip hop crazy guy at some point in the early 2000s, people were like, you got to have FL Studio, not anything.
The software.
Right. And that was it's the cliche thing, right? It's like Draco Mafia and Glock 40 Cows in rap music, right? So that's what it became. Like, you got to have FL. Kanye had FL, and he had a bootleg version for years after he was rich. He actually got caught one time because they were filming on like Instagram or some shit, and he got caught posting a video that said his fucking thing was bootlegged.
Oh,
right. So, you know, is it a real guy? I think I think he's legit real. I think he's weird. But here's the thing about money too, and this is another weird sideline, Tyler, I don't know philosophy. The more money you have, the more room you have to be weird.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all that is.
Absolutely.
Right. If you don't believe that, you're living on a whole nother fucking level.
Dude, have you seen that sidebar, but ties into the same thing? Have you seen that episode of Key and Peele where they make fun of Andre 3000?
No. Which one? What do they do?
Dude, because, you know, OutKast broke up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is they say, you know, Andre 3000 lost his mind and he was crazy as shit.
Really? Is that what they say?
Yeah. So the one guy's at the coffee shop and he's drinking coffee and he's reading a book, and Andre 3000 comes in dressed like a Keebler elf and he's ordering these crazy stuff, and he goes, "Oh, my man." He sits, and the other guy's like, "Oh, fuck, he's here. Why is he stuck? Why ain't you talk to me?" He's like, "'Cause you're fucking crazy as fuck."
Wow.
But yeah, Andre 3000 got a little weird, you know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think he's great.
Yeah.
Everything he touches is gold. He's one of the, here's a weird fact. Ghostmane's favorite band is OutKast. So that kid with the tattoos on his face that left Florida to go get famous in LA, got that white bleached hair and just raps about cutting your throat and letting you bleed on your grandma's floor. His favorite band is OutKast, and he claims that that's the only real rap band he actually listens to.
Wow.
And this dude writes rap like fucking Busy Bone.
Right.
And you're just like, what? When you hear this, you're like, what? And it's because he goes, look, they're the only people that do experimental. Why does our engineer look like he's rubbing his nipples over there? Joe Skelly, Joe Skelly, tackle him.
Stop him.
Drop kick him.
No,
So
none of that.
I'm not going near that. So yeah, he claims that Andre, and that he does. And it's true. I mean, I got into the music game super late, even though I've been listening to music our whole, right? We've been audience,
right?
Music people, right? I didn't get into making music till way later and studying the hip hop culture. But apparently, OutKast is one of the greatest rap bands of history. And Andre is considered one of the greatest writers by many, many, many famous people.
Huh. I never would have known that.
Yeah. His rep is top tier.
How did we get to this point from me
I don't know.
Talking about going to a revival?
I don't know. This is that live drop. You know what? Let's can it right there. That's 97 seconds, Joe Scale.
No, sir. Because I got to talk about one more thing.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I got to talk about this. I got to talk about this book.
Let's see what he's holding here.
Reperusing.
It Came from Ohio. True Tales of the Weird, Wild, and Unexplained by James Renner.
You got to check it out. If you're into the weird cryptids and all the weird stories that come from Ohio, check out this book because it covers all of them. Again, It Came from Ohio. The True Tales of the Weird, Wild, and Unexplained by James Renner.
Where'd you get that book from, Joe Skelly?
It was gifted to me. As you can see, somebody
wrote a message on it. I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. So, that's the way.
Yeah, it covers all of the crazy, weird stuff from Ohio.
Which I think we're going to be getting into again this week.
Yes, we are going to get into it.
Are we just a supernatural podcast?
No, we're all just all over the place.
All over the place.
Just whatever.
Russian roulette.
Whatever
the fuck we want.
Whatever the fuck we want.
That's right. And not a food channel.
Even though
my Instagram, I don't know why my Instagram has food all over it. I never go,
because it's a trend. It's a trend. You fell into the trend.
But you know what's funny is I never go out by myself.
Okay.
All those pictures are taken with you, with Brown Bear, with who else? My own father. My father loves to go out to eat. Every time I chill with him, he's like, "Let's go get lunch," and I'm like, "Pops, I really don't spend money on that because I got kids. I could be at home making my own food. I'm fucking too cheap, basically, to let somebody else." But I just want to say that all those food pictures are not from me going out. They're from either business or us.
Right.
Which is kind of like business.
Yeah. Let's talk about that giant jar of honey that you got, that you
Joe
smashed.
Skelly's honey's so good.
That you smashed.
I've been licking it and rubbing it on my face and putting it on things. I've been smashing that every night, bro.
Right. Did you share it? Did you share it?
Man, listen, my house has a rule. It's first come, first serve.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's too many of us in here. Yeah. When the Meeper Creeper moved in, she was like, "Why did you eat this in the middle of the night?" And I looked right at her and I said, "Listen, you brought that home 2 days ago. It ain't going to last much longer." And then after a while, she came back and was like, "Oh, I understand why you guys are like this." I'm like, "Yeah, because when you got brothers and sisters, that's the whole thing. Everybody just goes in there and grabs food whenever they want, eats whatever they want. This shit just disappears. Hell, I couldn't find that honey for a week. Took me a week, and I thought they'd ate it all. I was like, man, what the fuck?" But I got that new honey peanut butter sandwich life going because Joe Skelly's need to put on there next. Honey. What?
You got the
don't say sugar.
No, toast the bread.
Okay.
Put peanut butter, honey, and bananas.
Ooh, that sounds like death, but I love it.
Yeah,
I've never
That's
done
the Elvis Presley sandwich, dude. And all you got,
I didn't know he did honey. I thought he did just bananas.
Peanut butter, banana, but you throw a little bit of honey, and or you could fry it up in a skillet.
Right.
After you do it,
fry peanut butter.
No, you fry the sandwich.
Right.
Put a little bit of oil on the bottom of the skillet, and
that's interesting.
Like doing a grilled cheese sandwich, but you do it with peanut butter, honey, and bananas.
You know I don't cross the streams, right? We've talked about this. Remember Top Ramen and fucking steak? I'm like, what? You fucking put a $9 steak in a 30-cent Top Ramen pack, you motherfucker. You're just breaking laws. Like, dude, I guarantee there's somebody out there eating macaroni and cheese and steak.
Oh, right.
The fuck is wrong with you? Don't do that.
People are heathens.
You can't cross poor people food.
All right, here's another question.
All right.
Speaking about eating food, how do you eat your corn? Do you eat your corn like a typewriter?
Yeah, like a typewriter.
Or do you spin it and eat it around and run down like a typewriter?
Typewriter like a line.
No
Left
way.
to right, just like I read.
No way, bro.
Yeah.
No way.
The only way to eat it.
How do you eat your corn? I'm asking. And by the way, I'm asking the engineer. On a wheel, thank you. Yeah, on a wheel.
That's because, listen, I'm not throwing shade, but that's you Ohio-born motherfuckers are all weird.
No, because look, my better half eats it like a typewriter and was calling me a heathen for eating it like a wheel, but
it is. It's a typewriter.
No.
She's got a little class. Listen, that's what Bay's Basement's all about. It's about our ladies who are just a lot more classier than us and keep us straight.
That's for sure.
So she's trying to fix your life.
She is trying to fix my life, and I don't know if I'm down with
typewriter that up.
Listen, if you're a listener, you better email us and let us know how you eat corn, because
right through the site.
Write the site, baysbasement.com, because this is super important. This is going to be a huge debate. I could see this going on for a long time. How do you eat your sweet corn?
I think she's going to win.
Listen, how do you eat your sweet corn? We're going to do it. All right, we'll keep a tally. All right. Write us in, and we'll keep a tally.
Right. I'm writing it down right now.
Right.
We're going to ask every fucking person we know.
How do you eat your corn? Your sweet corn. Because this is an Ohio thing, because the sweet corn thing is an Ohio thing.
No, I write it right here on that front page.
Right.
All right. Sweet corn.
Sweet corn. How do you eat your sweet corn? Like a typewriter or like a wheel? This is important.
Wheel or typewriter?
That's right. Write the show. All of you. Write the show on this. Moriarty, write the show.
Right.
We haven't heard from you for a while. Like, did you
He's probably dead.
No. that would be the greatest trick
That's
the devil.
only way.
You know what the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was?
Yeah, it convinced me I was him.
No, that's not the same.
Oh, shit, that's not him?
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convinced the world he didn't exist.
Ooh, there's that too.
Right. So that...
Hey, wait. Should we take bets on Bianca and Kenobi? I'm guessing Bianca eats like a typewriter.
I bet Kenobi eats like a wheel.
Ooh, all right. We'll see what they say.
We will see.
30, 97 seconds.